3 minutes after 8
No,
o'clock.
not deep.
They're squabbling in Vietnam. I'm just kidding. No, we just talking. We just talking. 3 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to Island Tea.
Yes.
Alright. Good morning to all
Yes.
those in the Federation listening to us.
Yes, good morning to everybody. And I want to share a quote this morning. It is a quote by John Wooden. And John Wooden says, "Things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out."
I like
And
that.
he says, "Things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out."
So that's really talking about like a really expert lemonade maker then. Right?
I
Okay.
guess you're
Yeah.
you work with whatever you have, right?
Yes,
To the
basically
best of
what
your
he's saying,
ability.
just work with whatever you have to the best
Yeah.
of your ability, and things work out best for those persons.
Indeed,
It's all about
indeed.
positive mindset, positive thoughts, and sometimes we can't control situations,
No,
but we could control our reaction
turn to it.
and how we respond
Yeah.
and how we counter it.
Yes.
The
Uh-huh.
aftermath of it.
Yes.
And so anyone out there, if you are going through any, difficult moments, any moments where you feel like, you just feel like giving up or you feel like you can't continue, as someone told me before, at the end of every day, there's another day. There's another sunrise.
Yes.
And, things that might seem major
Yeah.
right now, give it some time.
Yeah.
You see it passes, and it might not be as serious as it is, and the same emotions that you have now in this present moment,
Yeah.
when you reflect on it, you'll be like, oh wow,
Yeah.
that was look how we handle this, look how this was able
Yeah.
to be controlled, and look how this is no longer an issue.
Mm.
So anyone, if you're going through anything, take time, take the time to articulate yourself, and plan on how best you're going to take the situation.
But what about folks that don't know, that may not have the best idea on how to handle the situation? How do they get the help that they need?
That's true.
We live in a
And
tough world.
Yeah, we really do, and that's why it's good sometimes not to tell everybody what's going on,
Nope.
but to have somebody who you can trust
Yes.
to share a second opinion on a matter, and someone you trust and whose perspective you trust.
Yeah, and who
So
can
not o-
steer you?
Exactly,
The
not
right
just
direction.
confidentiality,
Yeah.
but in terms of a perspective
Mhm.
that you trust to guide you towards a better way.
Yeah.
So anyone out there, you may be traveling to work, you may be just getting up for work, you may be just, maybe vacation for some.
Ooh.
Yes, so
Nice.
hopefully that you're enjoying that. And we have some discussions here this morning in Island Tea, trying to keep it current, try to keep it, as much as possible in tune with what is happening. And, yesterday, there was another homicide.
Oh boy.
Yes, another homicide.
Empathies to the families, sympathies,
Sympathies.
condolences.
Yes, and it is, and information as it relates to that. To my date, I haven't seen a lot of information being circulated as
Yes.
relates to that, or any official information. So until I don't know if persons have official information in relation to that, other than someone was killed,
Yes.
we invite you to call in. We invite you to share your views and share the information. And again, I have not seen, and I don't like to talk without seeing information.
Yes.
I have not seen any official statement made
Mhm.
by any official source. And so, condolences to the family, because we know that a life was lost. But the details into that, if anyone knows, they could share.
Yeah, at news time there was no name. So
Wow.
Yeah.
hopefully, I'm
That's
sure maybe
shocking,
by
though.
midday we'll probably
Wow.
headlines time.
Yeah.
We'll probably have something.
I
by then.
found that very peculiar. I thought it was just
Yes.
me, because even in persons discussing, I said, "Do you have a name? Do persons have a name?"
But there's a picture though.
Mhm.
You've seen the picture,
I
right?
haven't seen the
But
Yeah.
how trustworthy is that picture though, since we don't have a name?
Well, I got the same picture from multiple.
Mhm.
but
Okay.
Nobody furnished a name, so.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. So we don't know what is happening, and there might be loved ones who are listening, and so we just want to say sympathies,
Yes.
sympathies, and until something official comes, There's another, as persons know, the National Assembly met on Monday, and a number of bills, were discussed.
Yes.
And I know that there was a discussion, an in focus discussion, I think yesterday, Contentia,
Yesterday.
and
Yeah.
on consumer affairs. So, would you like to enlighten us? And
Well, there's a little article here. There you go. It says exciting news. The Consumers Affairs Department is thrilled to announce a significant milestone for consumer protection within our federation. So on October 30th, 2023, the Consumer Protection Bill 2023 was successfully passed in the federal parliament and would now facilitate the repeal of the Customer Protection Act of 2003. The Consumer Protection Bill 2023 is an adoption of the CARICOM Consumer Protection Bill that seeks to introduce harmonized consumer protection laws across CARICOM member states. It goes on to say, we would like to extend our gratitude to the dedication of the Minister with Responsibility for Consumer Affairs, Department on St. Kitts, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, and Premier Mark Brantley, the Minister with Responsibility for the Consumers Affairs Department, and our sister Isle of Nevis for their unwavering commitment to safeguarding the interests of consumers within the Federation. This updated legislation addresses a wide range of issues that consumers have faced over time. Now, with stronger and more efficient laws in place, the department is poised to tackle these challenges head on and ensure that consumers are treated fairly. In the coming weeks, it is said that they will embark upon public awareness drive geared at educating consumers about their rights and providing guidance to businesses on their rights and responsibilities under this new legislation. It also says we aim to help businesses avoid fines and penalties by promoting compliance. With this new established framework, we are confident that this will aid in facilitating a more transparent and ethical marketplace for us all. So a new era of consumer protection has arrived to the Federation. Let us embrace it. I hope so, because those food prices, I can't handle them.
So, information, I must say that I have not had the opportunity yet to actually listen to the in-focus discussion that was done with the minister and the director. In fact, when I was driving here this morning, I had Freedom on, and while it was just on the station, and then while I was driving, I realized I heard the discussion. And so I want persons to be aware that, this is happening. I have not listened to what was said yet. So if there are persons out there who have listened to the debate, who have listened to the in focus, and want to weigh in on the topic, they can do so. But I just want us to know that something is happening. I know there has been cries by consumers as to, going to these supermarkets and going to places. As I heard a little, it's not about more of telling you what to set your price at, but regulating, having a framework to regulate. And so as more information, and again, if persons have listened to that discussion and want to weigh in on it, they are free to do so. I remember yesterday I saw an article being shared as it relates to tourist arrivals in the Bahamas. And in fact, it seems as though, based on that article, the tourist arrivals in the Bahamas exceeded those of the numbers in 2019.
Oh, wow, that's good.
And so we have seen here in St. Kitts and Nevis actual decline in the numbers. I've seen and heard that, the Antigua, their tourism product has been doing well, getting better. And, we realized that we, in St. Kitts and Nevis, would have lost some cars. And so there have been some talk, and you see articles going around about the number of ships in our ports. So, of course, again, information. I want us to talk about information that we have. Again, I extend the invitation to the Taxi Association, the different bodies. If it is that you have a voice on this, then we want to hear your voice. We want to hear what you're saying. And so if there are persons out there who also are taxi drivers, who are in the situation, we ask you, we urge you to call in, we urge you to even come into the station and have a sit down with us, and we could have an engagement as to what is happening.
Yes, indeed. Wow, lost calls. That's not
Yeah.
good.
But but Azard, to be fair, you can't really. Okay, to my mind, you can't compare Bahamas and St. Kitts as far as
The tourism product.
yeah. I mean, they're way ahead of us. I mean, their dollar is 1-to-1. I mean, it's 300,000 people. It's a lot closer to the U.S. And while I'm not saying that the minister is perfect, but you can't blame the minister for us having lost ships. I wouldn't blame any minister. I mean, if Puerto Rico is no longer a home port, you can't blame any tourism minister for any fall off in arrivals.
I don't think the concern is one of saying we understand,
and it's only been a year. I mean,
we understand
we
that
have to be fair,
and that is why I said we invite persons, the taxi association, to come in if there are persons who are listening, and it's not to compare St. Kitts really with Bahamas in terms of their tourism product. Is the fact that there has been an increase in the number of tourists since 2019 in terms of when you compare pre-COVID with post-COVID, they have already seen an upward trajectory.
Okay,
so that is the fundamental basis on which I am keeping this discussion.
You have someone who probably begs to differ
and
on the phone.
And that is fine. That is fine. Yes.
Caller, go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Hey.
Simmer down. One for Azard.
Yes.
Good morning to all your listeners. And what is the young lady's name?
It's Cortensia.
Oh?
Cortensia.
Hortensia.
Yes.
Oh, then welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Good morning to all the listeners at home and abroad. I'm giving God thanks for another day.
Awesome.
Now, I was a bit disheartened when I heard about the homicide yesterday. I learned it is down by our church area. Those of you who know Irish Town. The Maranatha Church is in Salt Pond Alley. Where James could tell you where it is. When you come down the gut, you just look across. On your right-hand side, you will see. Now, why is it so grievous to me is that a number of homicides have happened in the same area. Practically around the church.
Yeah.
Wow.
We would have spoken to the young men, encouraged them and whatever. And I thought this thing was over with, Obviously, we know the young people. Some of them came to our Sunday school and whatever. But, the gang and the drugs and the whatever. It's so prevalent in the area, in Newtown too, Newtown Village and Irish Town and McKnight. Other communities too, but these are the predominant ones. And this morning I am calling on the young people to choose life. Choose life. Because the Bible said, choose life that you and your children may live. Because a number of these persons who are murdered have young children. And sometimes when you speak to them, say, well, you don't keep, somebody going to look after it if I go to jail. No, you're going in for murder. I said, well, what would happen if the person who the children's mother go with happen to be your enemy? What kind of keen attention your child will get? Some of them both, you see them many young babies, but they seem to have no love. So when you go and you kill your fellow man, sometimes for trivial matters. I beg you, young people, you must get a plan. If you don't, God have a plan. He said He has a plan for you to do you good and not evil, and to give you a future. So obviously, there seem to be a set of our young people whose future is in the prison. Maybe they want to go to jail to go in the ban, or to go and do the subject when they could do them out here. I am appealing to the young people, the young men and women in it too. Because some women setting up the men. I hear young set around here. I mean, the fees of, oh, I went to jail and I was in cell. So I said, Lord Jesus. They make it sound like, I went to the school and I was in the top class. So that going to prison or going on the bench seemed to be a mark of honor among some of our teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
I am praying for Dr. Powell. You heard about Dr. Powell came here?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, I think I heard about that. Yeah.
So you must invite him. Invite him to come because he's hired. He's been trying to to meet with the people individually or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm encouraging you, if he approaches you and whatever, give it a listen.
Of course. Yes. We welcome everyone.
Saints need them.
Yeah, we welcome everyone who a voice and want to share their opinion.
Talk about the consumer thing, just a small matter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they were saying with the card, but I listened this morning. I stopped it since I was going to listen to you.
Okay.
There is a difference between a credit card, the response to a credit card, and a debit card.
Mm-hmm.
What the law says, according to Dr. Douglas and Mr. Quealy, they cannot tell you what minimum you must use on a debit card because the debit card is the same as cash. However, they can do so on a credit card. You understand?
But Miss Henry, generally they don't know the difference between a debit card and a credit card. So how does that
Sometimes
work?
they got the same. They have different colors, in St. Kitts. The debit card. Let's take National Bank. Their credit card is black, sir? Or they have a Visa. What color is the Visa?
Well, it depends on the tier, not necessarily whether the type of card is more of the tier of that particular.
Yeah, but I think
product.
the debit cards are marked debit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Oh,
how they
well, so
differentiate.
at least you don't know.
Okay.
So say because it's as good as your cash. From the time you swipe your debit card, the retailers or whatever are paid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that part was made clear to me.
Did they say,
Also
is there a limit on the debit card that you can use and a limit on the credit card, or all of that is out the door?
No. They can't tell you the minimum.
Okay.
Well, if you don't have it, the card will tell you don't have it,
I know.
a debit card. But the minimum, customers say, well, you can spend no less than $25 also.
Yes.
They said that is illegal, if you want to call it so.
Yes.
When using a debit card, because it's the same as if I came in with my money and put it on the counter. Right? So, but try and listen. Maybe Jamster. Sometime instead of playing the music, and it might bother you. You play, or you all choose a time in which you will play the In Focus. So, Saka, we used to listen to the Working For You.
No, we bring in Focus on Thursday afternoons at 2:30. Or is it 1:30? Maybe it's 1:30. I think it's 2 o'clock. Yeah, we rebroadcast. We're part of the syndication for that show. So
you bring it on when you come on to it, good.
We bring it on Thursdays at 2, I think.
I hope everybody here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is instructive. So remember the difference is with the minimum that you have to spend. Depends on the kind of card. If it is a debit card, the retailer should not give you any problem. But if it is a credit card, they can stipulate the minimum. All right then.
Okay.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, as we were in discussion, I know the family member of the young man who passed based on the information. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's Japheth Libard.
Okay.
And his age at the time, 24.
Wow,
Yeah.
he didn't even get to
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, condolences to the family.
Wow.
Condolences
Indeed.
to the family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another call.
Yeah.
Island, you're on here.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Hi. Good morning, Journey.
Yeah. Now, good morning to everyone listening to your program.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad to hear of the event that, we have lost someone again. Guys, permit me to speak on something I heard in the news this morning on this station. Yes?
Okay.
Yes.
Now, we know that the world is gearing towards artificial intelligence. And this morning, hearing the news of Elon Musk and how he's asking for more artificial intelligence. Follow me on something, guys. Sorry. Now, there is a thing, and everybody's tapped into technology. But let us examine artificial intelligence. One thing that artificial intelligence does not have is consciousness. Now, the future, the most powerful thing towards the future right now is consciousness. What do I mean by this? AI cannot go into the inner self. We humans can tap into our inner consciousness and bring out a power that is within us that can cripple artificial intelligence. I don't know if you guys are aware that NASA is tapping into what we know as melanin
Okay.
and taking melanin.
Journey.
Are you saying something? Yes.
Yes. I know. Could you keep it specific as to what are you saying? What is the point that you're trying to make? I know you're laying the foundation.
Point I'm making, Azard, is that we all find artificial and technology very interesting. It is catching right now, and that is what everyone is gearing to. But I'm saying, in as much as that is important, we have a power that is within us. We have a power, and I'm saying that if you do your research, Azard, just Google NASA collecting melanin. They're taking melanin that mostly the higher percentage of melanin is in the black race. They have been studied. You're hearing me on the air, Azard. I am talking about us as a collective.
I understand, but I understand what you're saying, Journey. We're just trying to get it in focus so we could understand and get a synopsis of what you're going. Because we have other callers
when I
and
listen to the news this
we
morning,
have other views.
We tend to gravitate to such public figures, Elon Musk and all of them. It's like whatever they say is gospel, but we have to look to ourselves, Azard. Because you see, when I say that we worship.
Before you go on, what are you saying? You're saying that there being collection of melanin and the like. You're saying that
yes, NASA is taking melanin. They've been studying our melanin into outer space because you see, when AI.
Okay, Johnny, wait. Yeah, and you said AI doesn't have the same human feelings that we have. What the point are you making? What is the point of contention that you're making?
Okay. Let me say this also. Now, take for instance, India, China, they are teaching their youth how to meditate on their inner thoughts and bring it out into the future. Make things happen by just focusing by meditation. The CIA and the West have been financing school for their youth to tap into that inner consciousness of that ability to bring out that power that is within them. I am saying that we have that ability as well, but it is lacking in our collective. That is the future. The consciousness that is within us, Azard. That is what I'm talking about. We have that ability. And when I listened to the news this morning and I said, when I hear, Elon Musk on the news, I was like, you see, for us, we gravitate to them because we are looking outside of ourselves, Azard.
But who are we who gravitate to them?
The whole global
Okay.
scheme.
Okay.
Everybody understands.
Okay, Journey,
now is
Journey.
going towards AI.
Journey, what
And-
Azard is trying to tell you, you need to be more focused and cogent with your points when you're making your points, because we have another caller, and guess what? I'm dumping you. Island Tea, you're on the air.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Gumbs, and to the young lady dear.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
You had a leg homicide yesterday, you said?
Yes.
Okay. You had a leg homicide. How
Okay,
much that did you
caller, please be brief. We have another call, and
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I would like to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I say, you had a fire in Navy. The Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister called the Premier in Navy about the fire. How come all these homicides in St. you ain't hearing nothing from them? What happened to these families? They have feelings. He need to come and address the nation when they have a murder. And give the family them a little, upbeat spirit, even though that they don't lose their children or whatever.
You know,
You
caller,
know, we need to,
you
Hello.
make a good point, because I have seen other persons make that statement. In fact, someone made a statement like that on the Facebook yesterday.
it's
That
not fair.
that he
It
yeah.
ain't sounding good. He
New
What
caller.
happened?
New caller.
Good morning,
Callers, let's get something straight. When someone is on the line, I'm going to kick you off.
Okay, but
You guys need to learn to make your points quickly. Let's go. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Jamster. Good morning, Azad and the young lady there.
Good morning.
good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You know, this isn't a politics here. No.
Yeah.
These young men,
Mm-hmm.
they know what they're into. A load of the parents, them know what they're into. The news broadcast don't bring on these whatever happened to the young man. So I do want to know that Prime Minister, whosoever supposed to come on and say anything else again. These young men know the parents them know what these young men into, you know. They know what the children them into. You understand? And these young men, they know they in thing with one another. None of them will report the problem to the police. And this thing will go on if these young men come together and try to respect one another and do what they got to do. They know what they're into. They know what they're not wrong. They know they're into. They know what they do. The parents them, some of the parents them know what they're doing. They know what they're into. So I do not see what the news broadcast and nothing who stop these young men from doing what they're doing. And parents going out there say that calling for parents to this. I'm calling for what parents going to do? What parents could do? Parents cannot do nothing. What parents should talk to the children them, more the children them. If the children them wrong thing, report it to the police. If they know the children them doing wrong things. That's all what I got to say.
Okay, thank you. I realized we had some callers who. Okay, we have the break now, so we're gonna take a break and we're gonna get back with the program. Yeah.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM. Save the date, November 18th from 2 to 8 p.m. at Greenland's Pasture. The Tourism Fest is back. Join us on Tourism Boulevard and be entertained by all cultural acts and live performances by Vibes International, Dijon, V13 Family, Akayo Suite, and more. Enjoy a domino competition and live demonstration, all hosted by EK The Real Right. Explore our island romance, Flavor Mignon, Rum Spot, Sweet Blocks, Tours Galore, Sense and Sensibilities, Agri-Tourism Zone, and Kids Zone. This year's theme, Regenerative Tourism, investing in a world of recovery, venturing beyond sustainability. Don't miss it, November 18, Greenland's Pasture, 2 to 8 p.m. Be a part of the adventure. The Tourism Fest, where culture, entertainment, and sustainability unite. See you there.
8:33, and we're back, and we go straight back to the phone lines. We have two lines going here. Island here on the air. Go right ahead.
That man who controlling this show, he needs to give people at least 2 minutes. He can't be cutting
No,
out
not
the
2
program.
minutes. Sorry, 30
Wait,
seconds.
Wait.
Mr.
Caller.
All-
2 minutes is long.
Okay, before we get into a thing, I want to say sorry because I feel that cut was.
I didn't finish my
Yeah.
conversation and he just give people 2 minutes and then they finish.
No, not 2
And
minutes.
Mr. Politics with a talk.
It's not going to be 2 minutes. Sorry.
Guys,
You got to make your point. If there are people on the line, listen, I give you conditional time. If there's people on the line, hey.
Okay, tell me round up and let me just finish. Don't
Yeah,
cut me off one
yeah.
time like that.
I agree with that
Tell me-
point. So
Okay,
so let's I want to apologize on behalf of the station for that.
What I was trying to say, the Prime Minister needs to address the nation. I'm a citizen, even though I overseas, I concern, I wish my country well. Mr. Joe, address the nation when you had Mr. because Timothy were in the hot seat and you were getting the same blame. All he used to address it. Come on, I say better is better. The mothers and fathers, them have feeling too.
Okay, caller.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Caller, you're on the air. You're going to have a lot of apologizing to do because I'm not playing with these callers. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, good morning,
Be brief.
the panel. And we want to wish the family, it's so sad. Jamster, are you guys in the area, And Miss Henry said something this morning, right? And Miss Henry dead wrong. That area, that's the first murder in South Panali where my grandmother and grandfather house be, where the little boy get dead. You understand? So Miss Henry, get your stats. This is an important thing in the area. People around here don't do them things. We live as one. When I was a boy coming up around here from Westbourne, got upper and low, we live as one. We don't hurt one another, so. This vendetta is from this brown and this stupidness where they're smoking. You understand what I'm saying? No, Azard, that young man, he can't be from Westbourne, God. And I'm going down there today, and I'm going to do my little due diligence with the old people and get to find out who he be, because I moved from down there a while. But Miss Henry, down there in Saw, is right where your church was, it happened. But down there in Saw. So Larry, don't put that out there. This is young man who I want to do nothing positive for the country, and they just sit aside and do nonsense. And we ain't going to tolerate it in the area there. We had a Blackfoot gang, had a stigma in that state. They don't stab one another like that. They fight hand to hand when he done. Everybody gone in Paloma shop and drink and go around by the jukebox to dance. We don't do them kind of things. And I want to wish the family well. I want to wish them well, my grievances, and, my condolences. Because I know the family well.
Oh, wow.
But Miss Henry, please, don't do that to us. We ain't like that. Because I know a lot of people out there hearing you from Westbourne, but they like that, Miss Henry. No. We must know what we're saying when we go on the ear. Don't try to give us the bad name. Them things from since I know Miss Henry, we never had a murder like that in that area.
Okay.
Never. Jamster and Azard, have a good day. You will jam down talking, eh?
Thank you.
You too. No, you see, take for example, you see what he said on the end there?
Yeah.
He could have said that a lot sooner and make his point.
I mean, there are some callers. There are some callers who you try to get the point because they talk for extended period.
Yes.
My thing is that just when the time is going, just give them a little heads up that guys, you have like 10 more seconds.
I mean, I always tell them, okay, you have a conditional amount of time. Sometimes I say 30 seconds, but like if I know it's a slow day call wise,
Yes.
I'll let them talk because they're making good points most of the time. And if there's nobody calling, there's no point to kick them off. But then if we have,
Yeah, I understand that, but I just, on the flip side, just to give them a little, caller, we have another call, just 10 more seconds, because, So, in addition to that, right, another news we had from the Prime Minister, and I'm looking at his official Facebook page, and it's really information going out as it relates to the Minister of Tourism. And I'm going to read it. It says, "My fellow citizens and residents, I wish to inform the public of the current health status of our esteemed Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, International Transport, Employment and Labour and Urban Development, the Honourable Marsha Henderson." And this was posted 16 hours ago. And so he says, Last night, the minister underwent emergency surgery, and I am relieved to report that the procedure was successful. At this time, I would like to express my well wishes and convey the collective prayers of our government and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis for her swift and complete recovery. The minister has been a dedicated public servant and a driving force behind the development and progress of our nation. Her health and well-being are of utmost importance to us all. While Minister Henderson is in the process of recuperation, I kindly request that we respect her privacy and that her family I kindly request that we respect her privacy and that of her family during this period. We understand the concern and care our citizens have for her, but it is crucial that she be allowed the time and space to heal without unnecessary intrusion. We are fortunate to have a strong and capable team in place, and the work of the ministries she holds will continue smoothly in her absence. I have full confidence in the competence of our colleagues and the dedication of our public servants to ensure that the vital functions continue without disruption. I encourage everyone to keep the Honorable Marsha Henderson in your thoughts and prayers as she embarks on her journey to recovery. Our collective support and well wishes would undoubtedly contribute to her well-being, or would contribute to her healing and her return to duties with renewed strength.
Yeah.
And yeah, Marsha, we wish you the best.
Get well soon.
Get well soon.
Absolutely. Yes, get well soon.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if he would have come out and said something about the murder, though. To the earlier caller's point.
I think those are the kind of things that the callers were saying. So when the callers are seeing these, I think that is what they were referring to. Yeah, 'cause all of the information came around the same time.
Exactly.
So that's why sometimes when we hear people make comments, it's because they have a context for the comments. So indeed, we wish the minister a speedy recovery. Hopefully, and it's good that the surgery was successful.
Yes.
Because you never know what could happen.
Yes, during surgery.
During those times. So, of course, speedy recovery and all the well wishes.
Heartfelt best wishes.
But my question to both of you gentlemen, whose responsibility is it when somebody is murdered to come out and tell us we had another homicide? Is it the Prime Minister, the police? Who does that?
But for me, and this is my opinion, and I like to say that because, I'm guided by my opinion, I think that, media, as we refer to the media as a fourth arm of the state, should report these incidents.
No, but I think she means
you mean
government, which government agency?
Which government agency?
Yeah.
I think, the police, we wait for our official statement because wherever police is supposed to, the police station, you would think that they would get all the information first without reporting. They could just do an update. Someone has.
But not to cut you, but I have to cut you. But when we look at news that comes from the U.S., we normally see it's the sheriff, it's somebody like that. We don't ever see
Thank you,
the elected official that is in charge of that department out, unless.
Yeah. And in the U.S., I understand that, and I get that point. But I think our culture, it's a smaller niche because, for example, when we look at representatives in the U.S., how many persons in the U.S. actually see their representatives? In St. Kitts and Nevis, if you don't see that representative, it's as if that representative is not doing anything, regardless of the fact whether or not they're doing their
I'm glad she made that point because that's a problem I've always had. I don't feel like the Prime Minister should be weighing in on everything. But then, no, but not, which is not to say he shouldn't, because if he does, that's gravy. But it should be the relevant agencies
dealing with it,
doing their PR. I mean, like the police PRO should have come out and said something. Maybe one of the police brass. Who else? That type of thing.
Yeah, point taken. But and in the same light too, we live in and again it's culture, because we live in a culture we expect representatives and persons we elect to be sympathetic as well to situations. And I think in relation to that, the Prime Minister holds the Ministry of National Security.
Yes, understood.
And so, because I think if it was a situation where it is that the number of homicides were less, But when you get up to, I don't even know the number now, and I don't want to misquote the number.
It's 24.
24?
Mm-hmm.
You sure it's 24?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
it was on the news this morning.
Okay then, so 24.
24.
So when you get that number and it's happening over and over, and there is no statement, personal or otherwise, in relation to that, I think that is where persons are now calling. So I like to tell persons, some persons, we make statements, but sometimes we have to look at the context in which we are guided by, because context is important.
Okay, we have a call. Island T, you're on. It's 8:44. Island T, go right ahead.
Yeah, good morning, fellas, man. And there's a lady in the studio as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes, our
good
guest
morning.
host called Tensia Kati.
Okay, I want to commend Jamster for bringing on that guest. I made a personal observation. I noticed that the Candy lady was missing for a few weeks. So I want to make sure she's okay, first of all. And we have to keep filling that other chair, because I believe it would be unfair for Azard to be taking the load, because I know he has a personal life. Something can come up in his personal life, and he might have to be absent. So just keep filling that chair every time. You know what I mean? And plus, it might be a good idea to bring somebody on so that they can get that training and that skill. You know what I mean? To be in the air and be in the public sphere. So, Jamster, congratulations on that, man. All right, keep it moving.
No, it had nothing to do with me.
It didn't have Jamster. Yes. We were in discussions. Well, let me say this. Since
we want the island to survive.
Yeah, since you mentioned it, right, caller, I'm going to say it. Candy will give an official statement as it relates to not being here. What we did as the team here at Island T is that we looked for persons who could fill the chair, as you say, and we were able, and thankfully we got two persons who are extremely capable and no stranger to media to do so.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
The way how I would look at that is that we will keep training somebody who might be interested in that area of work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just to give somebody else the exposure as well.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, real quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you put out the statement about the Minister of Tourism. Me, myself, I want to wish her the best and speedy recovery, and the reason why I'm saying this, right, is that I made an observation when she had that last briefing. And I actually had spoken on the air in some type of concern about her health, because I made a personal observation when she was making the presentation. And to me, I noticed that she was kind of sick. And up to Monday night on Patches, I had actually put that out there to, have somebody give her a call and make sure she's okay. And it seems like I was on the right track. But I just want to really say, I hope the best for her, and I hope she has a speedy recovery. And, concerning the murders, man, I just hope that Sinkis and Nevis could get back on track. Somewhere along the line, we're going to have to curb that increase and the spike in the murders. I don't know who's going to put that work in. But this is the time that somebody got to put that work in to get across to these young men, because this stuff doesn't look good at all, bro. And from the government standpoint, the only thing I can say about the government, they cannot think that when somebody get murdered, the families, they're not grieving. They cannot. That's one issue they can't be reactive to, because this government is starting to get very reactive to things. Certain things that's happening in the public sphere, they won't come forward and disseminate the information readily. They will wait until they see stuff up on social media and stuff like that. They cannot let that continue like that. They got to punch and stay ahead of the information. They got to bring the information out. They cannot just be reactionary, because this stuff is going to hurt them in the end. Believe it, is going to hurt them. Well, somebody said that the Prime Minister was down in Barbados a couple of days ago. We don't even know if he's back on the island yet. These guys are taking the people, the local people, the common man, they're taking these people for granted. They're the ones that's the voters. And if they continue down that vein, it might cost them the next election. So they better take heed, man. But anyway, man, I hope the best for the Federation, man. I hope they can get that murders under control.
Okay,
Thanks a
caller.
lot.
Yeah, we have another caller. Island T, you're on the air. Okay, hopefully that person will call back.
Yeah, definitely. And, well wishes all around. And I know also too, if you look at, okay, we have a caller.
Island T, you're on the air.
Yes. I want to extend our prayers to Marsha, Honorable Marsha. Marsha, some of you may know, grew up in our church, practice of skills. So Marsha, we're praying for you already, told the pastor. Now, to jam down. Now, people keep saying West Bongat. It is Salt Pond Alley. And as you say, it wasn't there all the time. From the time the gang started, they started congregating in the alley on our church step. And a number of them were killed in that alley. So I wasn't saying West Bongat. Salt Pond Alley is off of West Bongat. And I know his aunt lived right opposite the church. It is Polita's grandson, Hina Polita. She's now deceased. And so my prayers and everything go out to the family of the young man. And my heart ache because, as I said, we have spoken to them. And a lot of them don't live there. But, when you're in a gang, wherever the gang congregate, you congregate. So I am praying and I'm begging the young men, please, and Jamster, you could say it nicer, When you're on the air, you have to be more cool. What you're saying, you could say it differently. Put it that way.
Concerning what?
When you're going to tell somebody to thing, I'm going to kick you out. Those kind of language, that's crude. Uncouth is a better word, right?
I'm not really good at...
Too much of that.
But I'm not really good at this.
You're not polished.
This politically correct thing that everybody does.
Well, you got to practice it. You're in the media. This is not down the gutter through the alley. Please, you're above that. Since in school, everybody boasts. He's so good at English language, and you speak very well. So please, I beg you. It sounds rude to me. To me, it sounds rude.
It sounds rude.
Yeah, yes, uncouth.
Maybe a little rudeness is in order.
No. We don't want no rudeness here. Enough rudeness other places.
Oh boy.
Please, spare. Watch, I know better of you. Azard.
Yes.
Tell him give you the finger so you could say it nicely.
Yes.
All right then, thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you for not being uncool to me. Thank you for accommodating me.
No. Never that.
You see, it was the way with your words, Miss Henry. I know the way in which you told him that he could not have done otherwise.
Jamso, was Miss Henry your teacher?
Yeah, she taught me math.
Nice.
Okay then. Yeah. Remember we were talking about the Guyana.
Another call.
We have another caller.
852. Island T, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Hey.
Apart from the announcement, the general announcement of a murder, I think that if not the Prime Minister, some high official should come out and say something, because the impression we're getting now is that, another one. We should never normalize this. Yeah. So it does warrant somebody higher coming out and saying something. We know who the person who died was. He was part of whatever community. He has friends and family and so on. And just that brief thing to make it a lot more personal and not just another murder, because we don't want to normalize this. That's what I think should happen.
I think part of the problem is I think Azard seemed as though he was about to address it at one point. I feel like a lot of the agencies that might have the remit for some, any particular event or issue, a lot of times you get the impression they're afraid to, like they don't seem as though they have the autonomy to say, okay, I'm going to have a press conference to do. Yeah. Because, I'm thinking a director of certain agencies that come under certain ministry heads should have the
They should have the leeway to do
to
things.
to do those kinds of
amazing.
things,
Something.
right?
You know,
Without having to.
So,
Yeah.
I think they're afraid to offend whether they're superiors, using superior in the sense of persons above them in the service and that sort of thing. But, if you can't micromanage everything.
Exactly.
And something like that, I would have thought is fairly innocuous. It ain't a national security secret, top secret anything, right? You're not jeopardizing anything. You're not saying you give any kind of details that would hamper the investigation. But don't make it seem as if, it's something in passing and not worthy of mentioning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it should not be normalized. We don't want to go back to these high numbers and we regard it as normal.
And
Not at all.
this takes us back to when Gath was saying he's all for the build out of all these agencies having their like a communications unit and so on. This is why this needs to happen, because I mean the spokesman or the PRO or the communications head for the police or even the national security unit or whatever could have come. The police especially
and it doesn't have to
should
be a
be the ones.
government agency. I mean, a prominent pastor could come out and say something. Just don't make it seem as if it's a nobody who just passed. I mean, the person
that's a good
whoever it
point.
was a part of the community. Okay.
And I think the politicians have to stop, especially the ones in power. They have to stop looking at these things as something that necessarily reflects badly on them. Because he came out and made a statement about Marsha. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. It's your colleague and so on. And I'm not saying he doesn't have to have made a statement about the guy that got killed. But I'm thinking, like we were saying, the PRO for the police or somebody could have said something.
I think what the situation is that the murders have gotten so many to the point that some people are saying we need to hear a voice.
Yes.
We have another call. Island T, you're on the air.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
What's up?
Good morning.
Okay, this is Carla, and let me just say, Jamster, you need to be more consistent with that 30 seconds.
I agree.
Azard, you are not at the master control. Cut. When Jamster is cutting, he's cutting.
No,
Our
Carla.
callers are spoiled. Our callers are spoiled. They ramble on for way too long, okay? They need to write down what they're going to say and deliver it swiftly. I was in a program with the UK this week, and they cut, when the host was ready to cut the program, she cut it, okay? So we are spoiled and we have to learn how to use airtime. If you are engaging a person, 2 minutes. These are things that we had established a long, long time ago on WINNFM. And so people rambling and rambling and rambling, listening as a listener, I don't like to hear it. So get your stuff straight. Thank you.
Okay.
That's my 30 seconds. Bye.
Thank you.
But
I
told you
can I
that
speak
earlier?
now? Yes. I am not in opposition because, in fact, if you realize when Journey was getting to it, I was trying to, as much as possible, get him to the point.
Yes.
What I did say, and I agree with Ms. Henry here, is that, the soft skill to just say, guys, 10 more seconds. We have another caller. I don't like the just.
No one tells me how to police my persona.
Sorry. I don't like it. I don't like when the calls just drop like that.
No,
it comes across rude.
I'm not gonna be the cookie cutter thing that you guys do. Sorry, I'm gonna be me.
It comes across rude, and we want to encourage people
It's
not
not
to.
rude.
We want to encourage people to call in and feel safe and comfortable calling in, though guided by the timeline. You understand? So we have to do a balancing effect.
30 seconds.
So yes, we said 30 seconds, and we realize, as you say, there's no other caller. Then you extend the conversation.
Exactly, I've said that.
But if you realize that callers
all
are coming in, guys, 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds, we're gonna got to go. So just a little smoothing of it.
Wow, Azard is an expert on radio production.
Azard.
I like to say conflict resolution.
Yes. Expert conflict resolution.
What conflict?
Not production.
We had a call coming in, but hopefully they'll call back. 2 minutes until 9 o'clock. Anything else you guys want to?
Yes.
Oh, here comes the caller.
Okay.
Island to you on here.
Yeah, Jam, so quickly.
Yeah.
The
Quickly,
young
you better
lady
believe.
there, she was talking about the consumers' affairs. I may catch it this morning. But, darling, we have some big problem down the Port Zante with consumer. Too much fake jewelry. And all of a sudden, that thing just start happening down there with indigenous people. We're not going to tolerate it. Because governments before, from the St. Paul's fellow come back, they drag their foot in it, especially the last one day tourism minister. They drag their foot in it. Because all of them just want to align themselves with these people for fake gold at Christmas time. Have a good day, Barney. I know you know that.
Okay.
I got evidence for that. You
Right.
understand? They cannot mash up the cruise industry like that. Have a good day.
And this is what I
That was
want.
a really cryptic call. What was that about?
Is the sun shining out there brightly? Because from here, look, is it?
It's tricky looking out there.
Is it? It does look
You
tricky
can't
out there.
really
It's
tell,
like
yeah.
it feels like a cool environment, you know. So what I try to say too is that on this cool day,
Yes.
persons, again, the tourists, the taxi drivers, we need to hear them. I mean, there's mention of the 70 lost cars. There's mention of the tourists, the ships not being there. But we need to hear people in the industry.
How many lost calls you said?
We had about 70, just
70.
70.
Okay,
Wow.
9 o'clock. We have a call. Caller, go ahead.
Trevor, how many times did I call your name?
Hey, who's this?
Yeah, no, it's here. I
Oh,
just called to
okay.
affirm Hortensia. I love your voice on the radio. You were good on TV, but you really have a lovely radio voice, and this
Yeah.
is a welcome addition to the morning show.
Who knew, huh?
Thank
That's all I
you.
have to say. You can smile now. Bye.
Thank you so much. Jonathan.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, because there will be persons who meet me on the road. They would talk about the conditions, and a lot of persons they meet you on the road. They ask you to express their views, but sometimes in order to have that support, because you don't want to always be coming across as you're just bringing out things and persons aren't really affected, because persons are affected. But you realize in our society, St. and Nevis, a lot of persons are afraid to express. It's like, for example, they have a shoe on, the person gives them that shoe, the shoe is way too small, it's squeezing their foot, they complain, they say, "Boy, I got to put on the shoe again in a minute, put on the shoe, they got to put on the shoe." But yet, when the person in which they have to speak about the shoe,
Yeah, they're not saying
they
anything.
ain't saying nothing. Oh, the shoe good.
And that's why I asked the other day when Mr.
it's-
Beckles was here. I don't see us picketing much for anything. There's a shoo all around the place, and then it just dies down. We don't, and if we don't stand for something, guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna fall for anything. So we have to speak up.
Oh. Someone said to me here that Consumer Affairs made a presentation at Tourism Forum, and that one of the focus of what fake jewelry and other items at Port Zante, and they said that the new act will be able to address many of these concerns. So I'm not sure if there was, yeah.
So he knows what he's speaking of then.
No, well, this person is making the point that Consumer Affairs made a presentation at tourism. So that seems to be in relation to the sale of perhaps jewelry in that area. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think he's making mention to the act, the Consumer Affairs Act and the regulations. Again, I haven't heard the in focus yet.
Okay.
There are persons who have,
Yeah,
and
yes.
we encourage persons to hear.
Yeah, I have to listen to that as well.
Yes. And so as we look at things, we have to look at another thing is Caribbean Commonwealth SG concerned about latest Guyana-Venezuela border issue. I know it's something that we discussed before.
Yeah.
So the Commonwealth Secretary General, Patricia Scotland, on Wednesday expressed deep concern at the decision of Venezuelan National Assembly to undertake a referendum on the status of the Essequibo region on December 3rd as tensions regarding the border dispute between Cacarax and Guyana heightened in recent days. It says the CARICOM stands with the government and people of Guyana and with our partners in CARICOM in expressing our concern over the questions in the planned referendum, Scotland said in a statement. She said that Commonwealth continues to stand for the rule of law and reaffirms its firm, steadfast support for maintenance and preservation of sovereign and territorial integrity of Guyana and the unobstructed exercise of its rights to develop the entirety of its territory for the benefit of its people. So on Tuesday, the London-based International Court of Justice said Guyana had filed a request for the indication of provisional measures in the border dispute with Venezuela, with Georgetown reporting that on October 23, Venezuela, through its National Electoral Council, published a list of 5 questions that it had planned to put before Venezuelan people in a consultative referendum on December 3rd this year.
Okay, Azard, we have our 9 o'clock. Mr. Rommel Lawrence from Barbados.
That is fine. That is fine.
So he's on the line at the
Mr.
moment.
Lawrence, pleasant morning.
Good morning.
Pleasant morning, Mr. Lawrence.
Mr. Lawrence, hello.
Yes, hello.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Welcome.
Hi, go ahead. Go right ahead. We're hearing you loud and clear.
Yes. What do you wish from me?
Well, you tell us. I am told that there's going to be the church is having something. So you tell us what is it that the church is having and in what capacity?
Oh well, yes. I'm going to be doing the pre-Advent mission at the cathedral in Basse-Terre from Monday the 6th to Friday the 10th.
Okay, so give us some information about it quickly then about it that persons could expect.
Yeah, sure. On day 1, which is Monday, I'm going to be looking at the definitions concerning healing and deliverance and the significance of Advent. But I must say that I'm coming with a message of love so that people appreciate that by loving one another, they can strengthen their relationships with one another. They can build a better society, a stronger society and economy, and so help each other's faith, hope, and love in Jesus Christ.
Okay, and this is
on day 2, the Tuesday. There's going to be a panel discussion, and we're going to be looking at obedience, faithfulness, and selfless service. On day 3, there's going to be a presentation, which I'm going to be doing as well. And I'm going to be looking mainly at repentance and the necessity and the power of forgiveness for healing and deliverance, and the need for us to be transparent before God. On day 4, the Thursday, we're going to have healing and deliverance, mainly throughout. Although throughout the days we're going to be having healing and deliverance, but on Thursday, the entire session will be devoted to healing and deliverance for persons who wish to come up and have prayers done for them for healing and deliverance. On day 5, there's going to be the closing mass, which will be said by, I guess, the priest there, Father Lawrence. But on the various days, I'm going to be visiting the mental patients. I'm also going to be helping with feeding the homeless, visiting the prison, visiting a family in need, and addressing students at the Immaculate Conception Catholic School. Before I go any further, my brother, I want to thank you and to thank WIN FM. And this is WIN FM I'm talking through, right?
Yes, it is.
yes, I want to thank Win FM for the opportunity to say good morning to all of St. Kitts and Nevis, and for the opportunity to share what I've done.
Yes.
There are some key results and expectations that I hope will be achieved.
And what are these?
And I have consulted Jesus, my Lord and King, through fasting and prayer and Eucharistic adoration for the whole exercise.
Okay.
Mr. Lawrence.
There is always a need for greater visibility and involvement of small children, teens, and young adults. And I told the committee last night in a Zoom meeting that we had, we have to involve the young people. We cannot ostracize them, otherwise it is going to lead to the death of the church.
Yep.
And when I say the church, I'm not only looking at the Catholic Church, I'm looking at the body of Christ. The Moravians, the Pentecostals, the Catholics, the Anglicans, and all the other groups, religious groups on island. So we have to involve children, teenagers, and young adults so that the church is energized. And, you know, the children can carry on the works of Jesus, who emphasized that we should do corporal and spiritual works of mercy. There are young people who have musical and acting talent. Others may be good at dance choreography and miming. There may be some who are good singers, and some may be good at art and painting. And they all should be allowed to play a part. When these young people are involved in playing a part and they see themselves adding to the society and the economy, what does it do? It inspires them to want to go on to have livelihoods based on their talents.
So, Mr. Lawrence,
I also believe, and that's one of the things I'm hoping will come out of this pre-Advent mission, is that there will be thoughts for facilitating leadership opportunities within the church for children as well as adults.
Okay.
Leadership and management positions should never be limited to members of the clergy and people who may have social or political influence in the society. We must always remember that Almighty God has gifted us all, and we please Him when we use our gifts to honor and glorify Him.
Okay, Mr. Lawrence, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I know we're going to have you in studio, so I just wanted to have a little introduction. Mr. Lawrence is supposed to be with us in person sometime next week to discuss these matters. But, you know, just for a way of him highlighting the activities that are to be taking place.
I just wanted to ask one quick question, just for people who don't know. Could you explain what Advent is? Because I know there are a lot of people listening and they hear Advent. So what's Advent? Especially if they're not Catholics and maybe Methodists or whatever.
Yes. Advent has to do with the preparation for the second coming of Christ. It also has to do with helping us to appreciate the love of Jesus Christ. And it's a time when we should be filled with hope that Jesus has not forgotten us, his brothers and sisters. And there's a fourth pillar there, and it is that Advent helps us to recognize that all of the needs of humanity, that all of humanity needs joy and peace.
Yes.
So these are the four areas that Advent addresses.
So, Mr. Lawrence, so we thank you again. Just repeat the week of this event, the week of the events, and then we will welcome you in person in studio on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday you're supposed to be here with us. Yes. So just give us...
Yeah, so you just want me to repeat the program?
Yes. So persons listening could be aware, and then we'll meet you next week in studio.
Yeah, sure. So the pre-Advent mission is from Monday the 6th to Friday the 10th.
Okay.
On the first day, we are looking at the definitions of healing and deliverance and the significance of Advent. And I am also bringing the message of love so that people understand and appreciate that God loves us all. On day 2, which is the Tuesday, we're having a panel discussion, and we're looking at obedience, faithfulness, and selfless service. On the Wednesday, the focus is going to be on repentance, the necessity and the power of forgiveness for healing, and the need for transparency before God. On Thursday, we're going to devote the entire evening for persons who are in need of healing and deliverance. And on Friday, there's going to be the closing mass, which will be done by the priest of the church.
Okay, and this.
But let me just say this: that on any given night, there will be room for healing and deliverance, and also for persons to share testimonies of what God has done for them.
Okay.
So basically, that's it.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to meeting you in person in studio. Next.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. We're going to take a break now,
All right,
guys.
God bless.
Yes.
Yes, bye-bye now.
Yes.
Making spirits bright. What fun it is to laugh and sing those sleigh songs tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Dreaming of that perfect getaway? Hop aboard the McCanna Ferry to the breathtaking islands of Saba, Statia, St. Martin, and St. Kitts. Embark on a delightful journey and enjoy sun-kissed beaches, vibrant cultures, and unforgettable experiences. Visit McCannaFerryService.com to book your island hopping adventure today.
So we're back, guys, and just before we had the break, I spoke about and just for persons to know, that is going to be at the Immaculate Conception Catholic School, formerly known as the St. Teresa. Yes.
Oh, we grew up with the beige and green, and now everything has changed.
Yes. Yeah. So the CARICOM,
beige and green,
the CARICOM, sorry, not CARICOM, the Commonwealth. And I hope I was saying Commonwealth throughout. The Commonwealth, Secretary General is concerned about what is happening in Guyana and Venezuela as relates to the border issue.
Yeah, I was thinking this morning, I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility you might have a military clash between the two countries, boy. Man.
But we don't need that. We're having military clashes all over the world.
Exactly.
We don't need another one.
We need to not do that in the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
We have some calls. Island T, go right ahead. Okay. There were two, so hopefully somebody will call back in a bit.
Someone made in the comment here that no prime minister should be making any statements about homicides. That's the duty of the Commissioner of Police.
I agree.
And so that is a comment. I like to.
His communications unit. PRO type thing. Yeah. Or even a department head, like head of CID or something along those lines, a detective, whatever. Yeah. Okay, back to the phone lines.
Good morning.
Caller, go
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm not calling to talk about Venezuela. I'm calling this morning is the first JetBlue flight, and I see my husband is at the airport in New York at the big hullabaloo.
Oh, yes.
And I see our colors are in balloons and decorating, and they're giving out saltfish and Johnny cake for breakfast.
Oh, nice.
But what I think that the music in the background is not our music.
Oh.
It's some other Caribbean island. Why is it that we so underrepresented with our music, our people?
So you're saying that this is being played in the States?
In New York?
Yeah.
Yes, at BSK.
And then they're not playing our music.
So we needed a little new vibes on.
Colors, this big thing that gives us starfish and Johnny cake for breakfast.
Oh my, that's nice.
I need music from Trinidad and Barbados.
Yeah. They need to get into the times when I don't know about you, but I love St. Kitts bad. They need those
exactly. They could have
Viva St. Kitts, Neve is nice,
Yes.
Come on. Exactly. I mean, not that I listen to the music, but my husband is at the airport, and there's a big grand You hear a lot of people music.
Yeah, you're breaking up. I don't know if you can change position.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully when they get here, they will hear We Love St. It's Bad. So
Yeah.
hopefully on this end, we don't play the wrong music, which I don't think we would play the wrong music.
And guys, I want to say thank you for the call because that was something for me to mention here this morning too. But sometimes when you get into the conversation, you have so many things lying up and you miss it.
And thanks, caller. We wouldn't have known that.
No, I knew it. I knew it.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
It was actually something that we wanted to touch this morning, but with all the topics that are coming in, sometimes and the callers, you don't get to finish what you're saying, before something else.
I had a list of things that happened on November 2nd, including that, because
Yes.
I have the ban and everything of it.
Yes.
Caller, go ahead.
Good morning.
Hey.
Morning.
I'm kind of thinking this alarm might be a little bit premature, but I'm wondering where we stand in the whole matrix, in the whole mix of things mentally. See, you got Ukraine, you got the Arab world, England, actually the entire world, right here on our borders. We got unrest. What are we doing to prepare ourselves in the event that the boats don't come, that the planes don't fly? We got to begin thinking like Corona. In World War II, the women boiled green sugar apple and green soursop to feed themselves and their children. What are we going to do? We're going to run out of energy.
And
already everything going.
But
we are not paying attention to what is happening in the world. We got to be preparing like in a hurricane or worse than a hurricane. We need to wake up.
Mazaya, you are
not
right.
Not just in St. Kitts, but the entire region.
You know what's scary?
Something is wrong with us.
Okay, you know what's scary about what you said though is the fact that you said that they did that during 1945, and you would think that maybe then the society was even more agrarian, like growing more food. So if they had to resort, imagine having to resort to that back in the 40s. So
Green
that's
sugar
pretty
apple
alarming,
and green
right?
soursop.
Yeah.
My gosh.
I mean, you would think, back then, I have to assume that the farming was even more.
But I would have, as you rightfully said, I would have thought they were farming because they worked hard in the fields.
Exactly.
Wow. But maybe they weren't farming the correct things.
Exactly.
That was needed at that point.
And then there would be the things that we can't replace, like maybe, a lot of the things we import that just don't grow here or whatever.
But James, I wanted to ask the farmers, right? Because when it's farming time, and I'm not bashing, I'm not saying anything out of the way. Why is it if I'm farming and you are farming, James, I'm going to use us, why is it I can't plant the eggplant, the shallots, the tomatoes and whatever, and you plant something else? Why is it when the crops come out is the exact same thing and everybody's rushing to sell the same thing?
I ask them that all the time. We ask them that all the time.
So is it somewhere where they can't plant something at a certain season? You think it's that maybe?
But actually, I think Troy had said at one point that was something that they had kind of resolved because and I got the impression last week when they were talking about the crops, you got the impression that there were certain things were apportioned to different farmers.
I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
Because if as I asked them, if the containers doesn't come, we are in trouble. We are gonna have to do the same thing.
Exactly.
The green check. Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, darling. Now, I want to commend the last caller. I've been thinking about it. I said maybe by now they should start to advise some of these wholesalers to begin to increase the imports of some of the basic goods. Because if I listened to the news this morning, and I said I was appalled. There, obviously, the Venezuelan ambassador met with the government. And there was a lot of compliment, they were all complimenting him. They were the first one for us to have diplomatic relations with. The whole works. And nothing was said about the Guyana incident.
Boy.
Guyana has been complaining that America planned to set up some base there and America planned to intervene. So I said, well, look, because Venezuela can't expect to go into Guyana, and the U.S. who have investment or interest, as let us call it.
Yes. They're not going to defend it.
And nothing.
Yep.
And if we are serious, we got to start to prepare.
Yep. We have to.
You know, and we have to let them know. Because I'm saying, look, the Prime Minister spoke, other ministers spoke, different people, complimenting. Of course, they have done a lot for us, right?
Yes.
But because somebody give you something, don't mean you got to keep your mouth shut. You can say it nicely, you know? Or even ask them, you know, to wait until the case trial, something like that. But when nothing is said about the matter.
But Miss Henry, maybe they're going to say, too, that wasn't the place and time for them to discuss it.
But it's the ambassador you're talking to, you know.
Yeah,
and this issue is a grave issue.
It is. It's been for years.
It's not a small thing like I want Georgetown, you want 2/3 of Guyana.
Yeah. Almost all of it. Almost all of it.
My heart goes out. So I hope that the Venezuelans, because we saved them when the U.S. wanted to go into Venezuela. You remember when they declared the opposition leader, the current president,
yes.
CARICOM did not agree. They were begging CARICOM, bribing CARICOM to allow them to give their consent for the U.S. to go in and take down the president of Venezuela. Mm-hmm. He has to remember that too. All right then.
Okay, Miss Henry.
Okay, Miss Henry.
Thank you.
Yeah, big respect to Miss Henry, always with the great Wayans
yes.
on the goings on.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 9:25, and caller, we're here awaiting your call. So Azard had to leave actually, so it's me and Cart for the next 35 minutes. Let's take another call. Island, you're on the air. Hi, caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, me again, sorry, but let me answer the question. The farmers, basically, all depend on rainfall.
Okay.
So when the rainy season comes, whenever a shower of rain come down, is the time all the farmers then run go chucking something. We don't have no water. People cannot adequately or efficiently farm without water. It add to that, all this kind of sustainable, all this kind of talk you hear about, and all the media, all the news talking about sustainable. If anybody really know what they were saying and had any real common sense, none of them would be using them words, because they would not know. It's absolutely impossible, this sustainable state they're talking about, except they're talking about converting, which is maybe the reason why you not push for food or energy security, is converting the whole place into the 15-minute smart city, them, because these words they use in a smart, reset, and sustainable. Enjoy the rest of your time, Aya.
Okay. Yeah. Same to you. Let me ask you a question. You think on the same topic, I think we did a pretty good job of the backyard farmers, the kitchen gardeners did a pretty good job during COVID. So you think there's been a fall off since then? So we've gone back to the bad habits to some degree?
Maybe some have returned to work, because remember they didn't have work, so they have time.
True.
Yeah,
true.
so I just hope they haven't given up, because we don't know what's coming. Like in my backyard, I do not know how it happened, but I have to say organic spinach, because I do we didn't plant it. We do. Please? I will. We do absolutely nothing to it. The only thing is, though, it has to be consumed quickly, because I don't understand its fast. Yeah, but it. Yeah.
Tried many times to grow spinach and nothing.
I don't know how it grew, but it's excessive, and with the rainfall,
God, I hate you, God. No, because we have a problem. We have a problem in our yard getting things to grow.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, the weeds grow.
Of course, but the spinach has gone as far as it's growing up around the window now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's making a style.
I hate you.
You gotta hate the rainfall, but we need it. It's the rainfall why that happened. Yeah. But the leaves are huge. If you see those things, you wonder.
Oh, the big leaf. Oh, I used to love those. I remember when I was a kid, I remember when I was a kid, we had a whole spinach like
patch.
Yes,
Mhm.
and the leaves are big.
Yeah, big
I used to love
leaves. I
that.
was shocked.
Yes,
I use them in my smoothie all the time.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
of
You ever
course.
did a quiche? You ever did quiche?
No, I'm not a cheesy person.
You're not a cheesy
No.
person. Okay.
No.
Yeah. I used to always I like quiche with spinach.
Yeah, it goes off well. It takes
Mhm.
it off well, yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm not a cheesy person, so I won't.
Oh, I love cheese. Oh, we wouldn't see eye to eye then.
No, I don't
'cause
like pizza.
I love. You don't like pizza?
No, that's so much. I don't understand the concept of tomato sauce and cheese.
I guess it's an Italian thing, I guess.
Italians
But you
don't
like
get me.
tomatoes, though, right?
Yeah, I put them in my salad all the time.
Yeah, because I mean, and you know, they apparently tomatoes. You know the whole concept of umami and so, right? In
No,
cooking.
I'm lost.
It's a Japanese word, and it's been accepted into the lexicon as another taste. You know, you have sugar, sweet, salt.
Yes.
What's the other one? Bitter.
Sour.
And umami is the other one.
And that
And
consists of?
It's sort of what tomato apparently is very good at bringing that to cooking, which is why people use tomatoes like in you know, tomato sauce and stuff. Umami is hard to describe. You should look it up.
I'm gonna know you tell me about that because I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, umami.
But now I understand because most times when I'm cooking at home, I'm asked to put tomato in the stuff.
Yes.
To bring, I guess it brings the flavor out.
Yes, exactly. That's umami.
I just not like tomatoes in my eggs and I like tomatoes in my
Uh,
salad and
pesky Japanese, huh?
hey, from them we got good food, including sushi, so that's
I
good
know.
stuff.
Yeah. So we await your calls. Anything else you want to talk about in the meantime? I don't know if did we mention that Azard had to leave? Yeah.
Yes, you certainly
Okay.
mentioned. Are you aware of the banks? I think it's is it CIB? Yes, CIBC.
What?
The
What
name
are they-
change.
What's it changing to?
First Caribbean, I think.
It's always been
I'm
that.
not, and that's what confuses
Yeah,
me. I'm
because
not quite sure about
They actually
it.
used to use both, and then I noticed when it was when they, I think the Trinidad company bought it out. They started to use both names. In fact, the website that I go to for online banking, it's FCIB dot CIBC something.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's always been, but for some reason they had reverted to using CIBC, and I was wondering why. Yeah, and they actually had a First Caribbean sign over there, and then they took it down at one point. I don't know what was going on.
Wow. But I'm looking at the fact that a lot of the banks that we know growing up as young adults and children, they're no longer around.
Yes.
Scotia's left us. Royal Bank of Canada's left us. Barclays have left us.
I don't know if you'd seen the news. It might have been 2 years ago. What happened is the Canadian banks were complaining that the Caribbean was their highest, maybe their lowest returns in terms of loans and so on in the Caribbean, which is why, in terms of bad loans and so on. So that was one of the reasons why a lot of them were trying, And I think the CIBC one was supposed to be CIBC. They were supposed to be selling their holdings to a Colombian bank, but the central bank didn't approve it. So that's why they.
At one point, didn't they say that
they were
National
going to be
Bank was
merging,
supposed to
and
be?
then central bank didn't approve that either.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
I wonder why, though. Want them to stand on their own feet, or they don't want the amount of banks to diminish?
I think the Colombian thing may have had something to do with it, and then it was and then Bank of Nevis bought out the local Royal Bank holdings.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. They said I remember I saw the figure, was it 20%, which is probably high in terms of bad loans. I think they said the figure was around 20% for the OECS.
Yeah, but then I see that same bank, the last two divestments of the business in the region, with the application to the Central Bank of Curacao and St. Martin for sale of its business there to Curacao-based Orco Bank NV.
Yeah, I saw that a few days ago.
Yeah, boy, oh my gosh.
But it's good to, but the good thing is we actually had the manager. They've been doing a lot of outreach. We had them last month during the financial week. They came and they're pushing this mortgage switch campaign called Get Comfy.
Okay.
So it's good to see that now that the National Bank thing has fallen through, they've started to engage with the public again. She said they just put in new ATMs. I sound like a First Caribbean pitchman, right? You know what I mean?
You do sound like that. You do sound like that.
Well, I mean, they did a good job. I mean, they just put in some new ATMs. She said, for example, I don't know if you have an account there.
Huh?
You have an account there?
No.
They have the most advanced ATMs now. You can actually put in a check and get money and stuff like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So they've gone fancy, because I find, I don't know if it's the ambiance or whatever, but to me, that particular bank to me just fade in. Unless you look across there, to me, I don't see a bank.
Yeah.
Like when it was Barclays, it was Barclays. You see all the emblems, and it. To me, it was more inviting.
Yeah,
but as it changed over the years, to me, it became less inviting. I don't know.
But I think that kind of turned inward when you had that weird in-between period where they was changing over to National Bank. So they had kind of pulled back and sort of weird no man's land where you're going there and there's like two tellers, one teller.
Oh, wow.
But no, I have to say they're a lot more. Yeah, they're a lot more dynamic now. So
because I don't have a reason to go in there, so I won't go in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even I find Bonn, I had to go in there and I was like, wow, where's the ambience? They lost me at ambience. I just like to go in banks and see plants and everything looking pretty and stuff like that. And when I go in banks and the ambience is like blah, I'm like, oh Jesus, what's going on here?
That's me and my wife and somebody we were talking about that whole you could say corporate / commercial decor culture we have in the Caribbean, where I was telling her I've noticed that, take for example, you look at Marriott, right? And you look at all the money they spent on the landscaping and all the little like the decor in the thing. And generally the restaurant, same thing, they go all in when it comes to constructing whatever kind of interior decoration feel they're going for. Carlo knows what I'm talking about. Carlo does interior decoration.
Sure does.
So what I was telling my wife, my theory is, in the Caribbean, a lot of times we have a restaurant and it's just 4 walls. You go in there, there's no pictures on the wall.
Just blah.
There's no theme.
Not inviting.
Just good food, usually.
Mm-hmm.
But no pictures on the wall and stuff. Yeah. And I remember Excelsior down on New Street, and I always said that about Excelsior. Man, I wish they would go in more and the
put
decor.
Up a few more pictures, but everybody went just for the food.
But it's money. Yeah. Because when you think about it, as simple as it is, take Rituals. They have a pretty good decor thing going on. You go in there, that stuff alone is maybe $50,000 just to make the place look inviting.
Yeah, but inviting places draw more people. So you invest in the ambience, and then more people are gonna want to come in because they want to inside. They look nice, boy. Let me go in there and see what's happening.
Well, I guess there's some cognitive dissonance going on there because they know that, but they probably don't. They can't afford that money on spending it on a decor. So it's like, okay, we need a nice Viking stove. Let's put the money there rather than, rather than going and buying some prints from Island Hopper or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's that.
Boy.
So are you a carnival person?
No. Let me tell you, last year the stage was right across from my house, and where was Quartantia? Inside cleaning up still. I did not come outside. I came outside, my friends came to say hi, but once the bands got there, you couldn't find me.
So you don't go to the shows and pageants and stuff?
I love Queen shows.
Oh,
I had the opportunity to host Miss St. Kitts last year. That's actually something I can take off my bucket list.
Oh yeah, I did see some of that on
so I love I am gonna go to Miss St. Kitts, but in terms of the street parade and stuff, no, I don't really come into town. No, I don't like the excuse and no, I don't do the.
So you don't go to the opening?
No, everything's online or on the tab. So I go to the opening virtually. Yeah, let me correct that. I go to the opening virtually, but not in person.
But that's a double-edged sword. I know a lot of people, like there have been carnival chairmen who have argued that, maybe we shouldn't be doing this thing because we want the people to come to the venue rather than staying home and listening. And you understand that to some degree you have to provide that for maybe people who are not as mobile, or maybe they're at work, but maybe they have the.
Because a lot of persons are still gonna go, but I guess some of us that are becoming more and more introverted, we're just gonna stay at home.
Yeah.
And you know when that hit me hard? When they had the Freedom concert and when it came to the junior gong part.
Did you go?
No,
You
but it
didn't
was
go?
cut online though.
You couldn't carry. Oh yeah, boy, a lot of people had probably a rude awakening with that because they were probably sitting home.
Waiting to enjoy Junior. You
Junior
better go
Gong
to
is
the
coming
park.
up, yeah.
Yeah, that part. I was like, what?
Yeah.
They really want you to go to the park for this? I just went to sleep.
But it
after
wasn't that so much because those bigger artists, they're very protective of their image and performance. Governing their performance rights.
So there was a clause that it couldn't
be.
You couldn't. Okay, got you.
That's
Understood.
what it was, yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering why they cut it. Because I'm sure a lot of people was home waiting for Junior Gong to come on. And
that reminds me of when.
Why are you laughing?
No, I'm laughing because something you're there sitting there watching. And you're like, yes, this is good. I remember when Obama ran, right, and he won, and we had an island-wide power outage because everybody was watching TV.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I was so pissed because it's like
you missed the part.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
key part.
I was like, oh my God, really?
But the good thing is we got to see it the next day, but it wasn't as nice
it wasn't
as
the same. Yeah.
what we were anticipating on the edge of our seats.
So imagine those people home sitting going, oh, Junior Gong coming up next.
I was one. That's why I told you I went to bed.
I learned my lesson another beer. Yeah. So let me go grab another beer and then boop.
But now I understand the logistics and the legalities, so I know why it couldn't have been virtual as well. So what are you? Okay.
No, go ahead. We're gonna take a quick break and we come back and shoot the breeze some more.
Okay.
We gotta hear from Rams.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Found the sound 98.9.
Get the drive with Lucozade Energy. Buy Lucozade and enter for a chance to win the grand prize of a Toyota Hilux. Plus, win up to 500,000 instant prizes, including Fitbit watches, GoPros, earbuds, Amazon gift cards, and free Lucozade. To enter, buy one of the Lucozade Energy promo bottles and look under the cap for your code. Enter it online or send it via WhatsApp, see press, and social media for details. Buy, win, and get the drive with Lucozade Energy today. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. Give her a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Way back, Island Tea, we got Cortensia, our engaging guest host. So, are you a Christmas person?
I think I outgrew Christmas. I sound like the Grinch, but I think I outgrew Christmas. Like, why I was cleaning on New Year's is because I didn't do it for Christmas. Yeah.
So you don't do the fruit cake and
if somebody drops off a fruit cake, I welcome that, of course.
The ham?
But
no ham, no turkey. So what do Guyanese people? What would you say is the defining Christmas dish, maybe?
Ooh, pepper pot. Listen, I long to have a Guyanese Christmas so bad. I even tell Candy that sometimes, like, girl, I want to go home for a Guyanese Christmas because when we were younger, I remember smelling the polish on the floor, the curtains. That was my highlight. The polish on the floor. You're smelling the pepper pot that they would have cooked a few days before because on Christmas it has to be stale because apparently it tastes. Not apparently, it tastes much nicer, yeah. And then you smelling the bread that was just baked. Listen.
Oh my God.
Christmas, and then in Guyana we only cook a certain food at Christmas time, but now that doesn't happen anymore. The food is cooked to me throughout the year now. Because if we ate macaroni pie at Christmas, that's the only time we got macaroni pie. But now you go to Ghana, you get macaroni pie anytime. You get the raisin rice, you get the fries anytime. So everything is like anytime. So nothing special anymore. But I still want to go home for Christmas because I want that pepper pot And I want to go to somebody's house on Boxing Day where they have the whole roasted pig and lots of food. Listen,
roasted pig.
I
Oh
want,
my God,
I want to do a Christmas so bad in Guyana, but here I don't. I just cook the normal food and yeah, but I think I outgrew Christmas, man. I don't know
Pepper pot. Tell me, how do you?
It's a casrip reduction.
Oh yeah, with cassava.
Yeah, cassava casrip made by the indigenous people, the Amerindians, and they squeeze out all the liquid from the casrip and then they boil it and they add sugar. It turns dark, and then you have oxtail, you have bullfoot, you have beef. Yeah, some people put in pork. We don't put in pork.
Food porn. Oh my God.
I know, and you put in your thyme and your pepper. Oh Jesus, no. We have to stop. We have to stop because I'm getting hungry.
That sounds pornographic. Just stop. Food.
My gosh, but no, I don't do
You have car porn, you have food porn. And that's what you're just doing there, telling me about that.
Trust me, you'll love it. You'll love it if you go to Guyana for Christmas. Listen, you'll come back. You'll probably have to be rolled off the aircraft when you get back because you're going to eat so much. Because Boxing Day, your friends normally invite you to their house and you carry something, or sometimes they don't bring anything and you just eat. And it's a big party on the 26th. So like how it's a big party here with Juve, our party's food and music and a little dance. Yeah.
So I guess, do you guys do the parang thing too? Like
no, that's Trinidad. We leave Trinidad with Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of, I guess, just Christmas music?
Just Christmas music. We listen to, oh gosh, you know the guy, I think he's from Jamaica. We wish you a Irish Christmas.
Oh, Jacob Miller, yeah. Oh,
that
so
is the Christmas song you would hear
the
in
Jacob
Guyana
Miller album, yeah.
for cleanup and everything, because in Guyana too, our parents broke up the house, as they call it. So furniture goes to the various corners. The carpet is washed and rolled up, and then on Christmas Eve night, that's when they have you doing everything. So when you wake up Christmas Eve morning, the house just looks beautiful.
Well, you all do the presents thing and everything.
Yeah, and the Christmas tree and everything. But now I had a Christmas tree when I moved to Antigua 1 year, and then the next year we just shipped it home. We'd be like, we're not doing this anymore. The fake snow and everything, we just realized, well, my sister and I, we just realized we outgrew it. But now she has kids, so she has to keep it up. I don't.
Yeah, the kids like that. Yeah.
Kids like the lights and I don't really do Christmas much. But for Miss St. Kitts, of course I'm gonna be there, because that's my show. So I'm always gonna attend Miss St. Kitts. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good. I guess you know that they changed Talented Teen to Miss Teen St. Kitts Nevis.
Yeah, and same thing with Miss St. Kitts. It's no longer Miss St. Kitts.
Miss St. Kitts Nevis.
No, it has a different name.
Yeah, Miss St. Kitts Nevis.
Miss St. Kitts.
Yeah.
It's something Queen pageant. It's not.
Yeah, but I mean the title is
okay. Yeah, the title is different because it's Queen pageant now.
It used to be Miss National Carnival.
Yeah.
Although nobody ever said that. Everybody said Miss St. Kitts.
Miss St. Kitts. Yeah. we're set in our ways now. We're set in our ways.
Yeah.
But I'm actually looking forward to what this year have with the changes, especially with the name.
Mona, and you were here yesterday when
but I didn't get to listen.
The ladies were saying that. That wasn't on.
No,
that was on.
That was you. Remember when we were leaving, he was coming in.
It wasn't with you and the girl. Right. She was saying, because it was on
Malia,
But she said everything just goes into a blur sometimes.
Yeah.
So she said that she is representing.
No,
Bryan
she represented.
Represented.
She was the first one. The college
last year
was never included in the pageant.
Which is funny. Yeah,
that's weird because they're still teenagers. Why are we excluding them? So she was the first representative. So she made history.
Okay.
And then the second representative. So
how many participants do we have this year from this Teen St. Kitts?
Okay, so I think Sadler's is part of it this year. We have Virchilds, we have Keon, we have the Bassier High, we have Junior High, we have the Nevis sixth form, I think. And
okay.
Yeah, so the college, I think, and we have Gingerland Secondary.
Gingerland, but I don't think Charlestown.
We have Immaculate.
Charlestown is not taking part.
I don't know why.
I seem to recall that. Yeah, I asked, but nobody knew what the reason was.
Yeah, we need to get all the schools.
So the sixth Charlestown sixth form and Gingerland, those are the only Nevis
that I think I know. I don't want to say I know, but I think that's what I remember seeing. Had I known I would have had this discussion today, I would have had it on the brain. But so both sixth forms are in it, so that's good.
Yeah, that's
very good. Yeah, because they're still teen boppers. They're not adults, so allow them to have a chance if they didn't get that chance, especially if it's somebody with ambitions to do it.
I remember when I was in high school, some people used to grumble when the college, they used to allow the college, like, but that was before it was called Bryant. And
sixth form.
Yeah, and they used to say, "Oh, they're older than us, so we could let those people run with us." But we still used to beat them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Because people are people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And once you have the dexterity and the drive, you could beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the smallest person can beat the biggest. So let's say small axe cut down big tree, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, are you gonna be here tomorrow?
No, guys,
tomorrow.
I'm not here until next week Tuesday again.
Next week Tuesday.
Yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow's Mishi.
Okay, I wasn't sure she was coming tomorrow, which is why I said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's Mishi tomorrow. So for those of you listening, listen out for me again next Tuesday. So I'll be here on Tuesdays through Thursdays.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So what are you looking forward to for Christmas? Since you're asking me, you're looking forward to the carnival, you play mass, you play masquerade, you play clowns?
No. Well, I'm a DJ, so I do get to have fun, but no, I'm not. Well, I don't go in the troops and stuff like that, but I look forward to the food,
yeah,
the music.
Yep.
I think we are going to be having. Speaking of which, we're supposed to be having Upset Squad is supposed to be releasing today.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be simulcast on WIN FM as far as I know.
Oh, nice, nice.
So I'm looking forward to the
I look
soca.
forward to that because I like the. I don't want to say. I'm trying to find the right word because I don't want to say. I like the jokes that the songs have. Like I like the Kaiso and stuff like Unexpected and Turkey Kill and them. I look forward to that because that's fun to me.
Actually, he's singing this year, I was told.
Who? Unexpected?
Turkey Killer. He's singing.
I saw him on the corner. And we thought he was joking, but he's very serious.
Somebody told
very
me
serious.
he was singing this year.
Listen, his one hit, and then we haven't heard anything else that.
For a while.
Yeah. Wow.
And to your earlier point, I hope someone is listening. These are the kinds of things that need to be curated and choreographed from beginning to end. JetBlue is coming here. See to it next time that there's St. Kitts Nevis music playing.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they had everything else down pat, but then maybe Kess is playing. I mean, I love Kess, but come on.
Yeah, but it's
you know
not.
what I mean?
It's not Sinan Masuda Island.
Exactly.
We could have had an Infamous.
Exactly.
We could have had a De Jour, something that's in
Something
relation to
that's-
St. Kitts.
yeah.
Even a little New Vibes if they wanted to show them how
New
we dance or
Vibes,
whatever.
the
Small
Core,
acts. Somebody, Upset Squad, something.
Greenhouse, whatever, you know.
Some nice music.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get it right next time if they're listening.
And we're not bashing people.
No,
we're just
we're not.
saying, just think about all the little details
Yeah.
that get that thing right. I mean, man.
See, the lady was so concerned. Like, you have our flags, you have this,
exactly.
you have that, but where's our music?
I mean, they nailed the Sawfish and Johnny Cake, right? You know what I'm
You
saying?
have everything but the music.
You know,
and we got
except-
music down
and
here.
we
Come
got
on,
good
guys.
music, exactly.
Plenty music. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm here looking at the news. Do you follow the international news?
Yes and no.
What piques you?
Right now, I'm so hurt when every time I see they're going through a rubble and they pick up a dead body of a little child and just put it up to show you, look at this, he or she's lifeless. That hurts my heart. Literally hurts my heart. It brings tears to my eyes. I can't understand. And yesterday I was listening to a former ambassador to the U.S. for Israel. He said Israel is not going to stop, and he's former, but he keeps saying we are not going to stop until we know that we have these people. But apparently Hamas is hiding amongst the innocent civilians. So when they're telling them to go one side, they're not going to bomb that side. They get wind that, they're hiding out that side, then they still have to bomb. But it's like our empathy as humans, it's like it's gone and it's going. It says it's going to go, but it's like it's going faster than we expect because these kids did absolutely nothing. Like the UN persons that are over there helping, they say this is the most of their volunteers that have been killed. At least 64. It could be higher. A whole family that went to volunteer. 2 adults, 6 kids, all dead. These things can't be right.
You know what really hurt me? I think it was last week. There was, I think before the Israelis went in, there was a story where they were chronicling how a lot of families, they wrote the kids' names Ahead of time, they said, let's write the kids' names on their legs in case something happens. And then you saw the pictures of the kids who actually did get killed with their names written on their legs.
So at least they can identify.
And but that one really.
It's sad
that
that
one really hit
imagine
home
that's
for me
what you
because,
have to do.
Yeah, because imagine you saying, you know what, I'm going to write the kids' names on his legs. Probably nothing is going to happen, but.
Yeah.
And then next thing you see, your
The
kid is dead, your kid is
yeah.
hurt, he has...
Look, I'm getting goosebumps. That's just sad.
Oh, my God, yeah.
The poor little children. And it's almost a month since that started. We aren't hearing anything about Ukraine and Russia anymore. It's just Israel and Hamas. But why did Hamas go and trouble Israel? Why did they think they need to do this and so close to the celebratory season of Christmas? Now a lot of those parents have to go through Christmas without their children if they celebrate it. And
Yeah. And it's a vast oversimplification to think that what Hamas did was terrible, but we all know it's just a whole mess that's been going on for hundreds of years.
Hezbollah's fighting Israel too.
Yeah.
So it's like they're getting licks all over. I don't understand why the militants think what they are doing is right, and what are they fighting for? Control. Everybody just wants power and control, but at the behest of innocent people losing their lives because they go and hide. You're such a bad man, and I always say this: if you're such a bad man and you do something, when you do it, you just walk up to the station and said, "I did that." Why are you hiding?
Exactly.
Why are you hiding?
And I found out something last week that I didn't need to know. You know how you just mentioned it. You know how these people have a tendency to put maybe military installations and so on in the basement of a hospital or in a school or stuff like that. I heard one of CNN's military contributors said that they use the victim doctrine. I said, oh, that's what they call it. Because this is something I've always found very distasteful, to say the least. Boy, that's a really mild word to describe that.
Yeah.
Because you remember that hospital that got bombed, and people were saying, well, the Americans said no, it wasn't the Israelis, but then it turns out apparently that Hamas did have military installations underneath the hospital. Now, who does that?
But do you think the hospital know they're under there? But then again, they're bullying the people too, because the people are told to move, and then Hamas is saying, you go anywhere, we'll kill you.
Exactly, because the victim doctrine. They want to be able to say, oh, see, you just bombed you bombed a baby food factory. Yeah. That's the kind of crap they do.
When they know when rightfully they know that they're under there doing nonsense.
Even in mosques. Yeah, they'll have artillery batteries in mosques and stuff like that in the yard of a mosque and that kind of stuff. And then they say, oh, you bombed the mosque. But you're not saying that you had guns and you have guns and ammunition in the mosque.
And the innocent people that are attending don't even know. Or even if they know, what can they do? Because they're being threatened. Their families are being threatened. So they have to be tight-lipped and just go and worship their God and hope that nothing happens.
Exactly. I don't know if people realize that Hamas is actually the government for Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So other than being a terrorist organization, they're actually the government for Gaza. And apparently the Palestinians are not very pleased with them.
No.
Even before this.
Who's going to be pleased with
because
that?
Because a lot of the aid they get from Qatar and all these rich Middle Eastern countries.
They keep it, right?
They keep it and they spend it on the military.
Yeah.
Digging tunnels under and so on.
Then the innocent get nothing.
Exactly.
But punishment that they didn't even ask for.
We finally have a call. Caller, you're on the air. Go right ahead, caller. Island T. Hello, caller.
Good morning, greetings.
Hey, what's up?
Morning.
I'm giving thanks, Brother Jamston. Azard is in the studio too?
No, he had to leave.
He had to leave a bit early today.
I'll give him your love.
Who is this African Mother Earth?
Cartensia.
Blessed morning, sister of love.
Morning.
To you all, and good day to you all, to the program you all providing within the information for our people. I would just like to ask a question though. What definition can define a terrorist? And where has it come to the term that we in the world are differentiating terrorism as just in the Middle East and not in the other context that these Europeans and Americans have unleashed on human beings of this world in the 20th century and even before the 20th century? So can you give me that kind of basis, because we still see it happening generally on the faces of what we're facing as terrorism too. White colonialism, terrorism coming through by the way how they're cooperating within their strategies of economical power. So we would like to see what define a terrorist, and how can you differentiate terrorists in the concept.
Well, you're not wrong. I mean, that guy in Maine who shot up those people, he's a terrorist.
He
by
is.
definition.
Yep.
You know,
he is a terrorist.
And the
domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the irony is that you hardly see the Muslims doing this stuff in the U.S. now. Most of the terrorism is actually white guys going crazy and shooting up.
Yeah, which is sad.
Shooting up public places and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, shooting up mosques and not mosques, synagogues. You've had people going down
churches and all them other things. Why we like to bring on the surface of discussion. And it's a good discussion you all having, because I'm not taking you all from your research and your study that you all see happening. What I'm just really looking to point out is that I went to a seminar, but it was based on human rights, and it was in 2015. And in that aspect of the discussion, the facilitator was outlining levels of where we have to make sure that wherever someone is incarcerated or have been apprehended, have been charged for something, you cannot put your forces in a way to consider them until the process is properly contained to say this is what they have done.
Okay, 10 seconds. We're out of time. 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I would just like to say basically, we really need to really change the format of what they're giving us in the human rights report. Yeah.
Well
and
said.
that is all I would like to
Yes,
say.
well said.
Thank
Rasaya. Okay. Contentia, I give you the last word.
Oh boy. But normally terrorists do not want to abide by the laws of the land. They think they have the right to do whatever they see fit. So to me, a terrorist is somebody that doesn't want to cooperate with the laws of the land. They don't want to follow what's best for everyone. They want, to me, it's communistic.
Exactly.
It's
and
my way or no way.
Exactly.
So I don't have to follow you. I'm going to be against you.
And they have no civic responsibility. Oh boy, to say the least, no civic responsibility whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they don't care if the loss of life include children.
Yeah.
And that's very sad. It's sad that the ceasefire can't happen because Israel needs to feel safe, and until they feel safe,
and then
everybody
we're gonna just keep going around in a circle, in a bloody circle.
Because somebody else is gonna come up. Listen, I'm praying that nothing comes of the Guyana and Venezuela dispute, because these people are younger. I don't want to say they're not wiser, but they're hot-headed, and they want what they want, and they knew mineral deposits and all this extensive wealth was always there, so that's why they continue to fight for it.
Yeah, so I'm very worried about the Guyana Venezuela issue as well. Okay, we have to leave it there. It was nice. So I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday.
Yeah, me too. Look forward to being back.
Okay, Island Tea, folks. We really enjoy this, and we have such a great cast of hosts now.
Oh.
Azard, Candisie,
Candisie,
and Michelina, who's going to join us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yourself.
And myself. Yeah.
You can't leave yourself out. No, you can't leave yourself out. It's always a great conversation.
Yes, it is. You have a great day and a nice weekend.
You too.
Okay, great.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
WINN is 90.